They found him near the edge of the village, wearing a tattered coat, barefoot, eyes wide open, as if he had walked out of a dream and forgotten how to wake up. He didn't speak at first. He just listened. To the trees, to the birds, to the wind brushing through the grass, as if all of them were telling him something important. When they finally spoke to him, he replied, but not in any language they'd ever heard. It wasn't gibberish. It wasn't madness. It was music. His words had rhythm. His sentences rose and fell like waves. It sounded like poetry from a world no one had ever visited. Linguists tried to decode it. Polyglots from every corner of the world were brought in. Latin? No. Sanskrit? Not quite. Sumerian? Not even close. One old woman from the village said, "It's not a human tongue. It's older than memory." They called him the man with no language. But that wasn't true. He had a language. No one else simply knew it. When children sat near him, they didn't seem afraid. They'd listen with wide eyes and somehow understand. They'd laugh. They'd cry. They'd hold his hand and nod as if he had just told them the secret of the stars. And maybe he had. Because when the scientists left and the news cameras grew bored, he remained. And the villagers began to believe that his language was not meant to be understood with the mind, but with the soul. He told stories, not through facts, but through feeling. When he spoke, you didn't hear it in your ears. You felt it in your chest, like the voice of someone you loved but had long forgotten. No one knew where he came from. No ID, no memory, just a notebook full of strange symbols, curved like wind-blown grass, sharp like mountain peaks. Each page looked alive, as if the words moved when you blinked. Linguists called it impossible. Mystics called it divine. But the children, they just called him Baba. One day, he stopped speaking. He sat beneath the old tree at the village center, closed his eyes, and listened again. For hours, then days, then weeks, until one morning, he was gone. No footprints, no sign of struggle, only the notebook remained, resting gently at the foot of the tree, pages fluttering in the wind. Some say he was a time traveler from a forgotten age where language wasn't spoken, it was shared. Others say he was the last of a people erased by time, that he had walked the earth in search of one soul, someone who still remembered the words of his world. But most just remember how they made them feel. Like someone had sung a lullaby to their pain, like someone had spoken directly to their heart in a language no one could recognize, but everyone could understand. And maybe that's the real story. Maybe some truths can't be translated, they must be felt. Maybe some languages don't come from lips, but from the space between silence and sound. And maybe, just maybe, that man never left. Maybe his voice is still carried in the wind, still whispered by the trees, still echoed in the laughter of children who speak to no one, but listen to everything. Because once, There was a man who spoke a language no one could recognize, and yet somehow he was heard by all.